Hey guys, this is Ghost Host, and this is a review of Marvel Legends Kang. It's Christmas Day, so yeah, I got him as a Christmas present, and I instantly went outside to make a review. And Kang was one I really wanted because he's another Fantastic Four villain. I don't have any of the Fantastic Four members, I just have villains for them. Because the Fantastic Four figures are super expensive. But yeah, my first exposure to Kang the Conqueror was probably in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Since, well, he doesn't appear in much, so that's the first thing I saw him in a few years ago. And honestly, I thought he was really cool. Apparently, he's a time traveler, and he just conquers civilizations. So that's the side art. I'm not sure if you can see it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. The back of the box. See, the Build-A-Figure for this is Joe Fixit. Honestly, this is one of my favorite waves in a while. I only like 3 of the characters, which would be Falcon, Joe Costa, and Kang. Since we don't have a classic Falcon, we don't have a Joe Costa at all. And we only had a Toy Biz Kang, so that's maybe it was Hasbro? Yeah, I think it was old Hasbro. So yeah, I'm gonna open this up. I'm using a steak knife because that's all I could find. Alright, this is taking much longer than it should. Alright, so now let's get them out of this packaging. Oh, all of his hands are taped in. Alright, so, because of the sun, you can't really see the figure that well. Maybe I should get something to block the sun. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I'm back. And I got something to block the sun. But now the camera isn't really focusing on Kang. There we go. Alright, so this is Kang out of the packaging. I haven't really messed with him yet. I just pulled him out and stood him up. And already he shows the same amount of detail as Dr. Doom in the fabric. Seriously. They really put a lot of detail in this, and you can see his boots that go all the way up his legs. The joints are very stiff, but that's fine. With moving that, they'll just loosen up. His head sculpt is pretty odd looking, but I can't really point out how, but honestly, I think it's fine. It's fine. Alright, his legs cannot bend that well. They're very stiff, but that can be fixed. Alright, so yeah, the figure stands at a really good height compared to, let's get him next to Dr. Doom. Let's stand him up. Alright, he cannot stand. Alright, this is Kang the Conqueror standing right next to Dr. Doom, my favorite Fantastic Four and one of my favorite Marvel villains. And they stand at a pretty good height relative to each other. Of course, Dr. Doom would be taller. He's wearing a metal suit. Seriously, that's gotta make you a bit taller. And Kang, he isn't known as the tallest person in Marvel. He's standing at a pretty good height. I don't have any other figures for reference besides Beetle, and I dropped a box, but that's fine. So that's him next to Beetle, because Beetle and Kang have the same color scheme. Alright, now before we continue on with the figure, let's look at his accessories. For accessories, he comes with 2 fisted hands, a gun holding hand. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. and two clenching hands, I guess. Yeah, two clenching hands. He does not come with an extra head, but honestly, he doesn't need one. He looks cool as is. But he also comes with a big gun. Let me switch out his hands so he can hold it. The hands and everything are very stiff, too. Alright, so this is the gun. If the camera would focus. There we go. That's the gun. Looks like a big energy cannon or something. Maybe a grenade launcher. Alright, let me fit it into Kang's hand. Alright, I'd say it fits in his hand pretty well. But since the figure's joints are so stiff, I can't really pose him yet. He is like impossible to move. Alright, so that's Kang holding his big gun. You see, the gun looks really cool. Looks like that thing would pack a punch when he fires it. Like, seriously. Alright, so let me take away his gun. Let's do articulation. So Kang can look up a decent amount. I think his head, alright, his head looked like it was on the same ball hinge as the dumbbell hinge, like Spider-Man and War Machine, but no, it is not. Alright, so he can also look down a fair amount. His head can pivot just a little. There's a swivel at the waist. Well, no, a ball joint at the waist, so it goes all the way around. His arm goes up like that and down. Goes all the way around. His shirt, I guess, does hinder the articulation a bit, but the plastic is fairly soft. He can bend at the elbows, swivel at the wrist, and this hand goes up and down while the other hands go side to side. Right, so he can kick a decent amount forward. That's a pretty good kick. His leg can go a fair amount back. Bend at the knees. No boot cut. No, he technically does have a boot cut right here, because that's where his boot is. His foot is very stiff, but yeah, it can go up and down. That was down. This is up. And a pivot. See, I'd say he's a pretty nice figure. See if I can get a close-up on his face. Alright, the camera is not focusing. There it is. They did a little pan around the eyes, which is nice. Always appreciate that. Honestly, I think the sculpt is really good on Kang. He's got a fair amount of weight to him. So I think he's a pretty nice figure. Probably one of the best. He's probably going to go on my top 10 list. If you don't know, I'm doing a top 10 list for the best figures of 2020. Maybe the first of next year, probably in a few days from now. Probably when I get Gambit, because he's coming in the mail. When I get him, I'll do the list. So I'll probably be the final figure I'll get this year. And so there he is. This has been Kang the Conqueror. He's a Fantastic Four villain. He's a conqueror. He's a time traveler from the future. And honestly, he's pretty cool. This has been Ghost Toast. If you want to pick this guy up, you can get him at Big Bad Toy Store, I think, Hasbro Pulse, or Amazon.com, or your local toy store such as Target or GameStop. See you guys later, and bye.